Hey, what is up, mortals? It is welcome to Season 1 Part 6 of What If Deku Had Shazaam's Power. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the story. Last time the sports festival happened, and thanks to the power bestowed to him from Shazaam, he was able to become the winner. Although Izuku had this shining moment of joy, dark forces talk about their plans to get rid of Izuku. 2 days after the sports festival, Izuku is on the train heading to UA, but the passengers recognize him and somewhat mob wanting to talk to him about his power. All the attention overwhelms Izuku, so he gets off the train at the next stop, thanking the people for the compliments before running away to transform and fly to the school. Once getting on the premises, Izuku lands, seeing Ida saying, "Hey Ida, Shazam. Hello Midoriya. Why are you using your abilities? Were you in some sort of situation where you got permission to use them?" Ida replies while slowing down to walk with Izuku into the school. "No, not at all. I just kind of got mobbed by some people on the train who were congratulating me on the train." Izuku pauses with an astonished look on his face. "What is it?" Ada says with a concerned look on his face. "It was just overwhelming. A while ago I thought I'd never be a hero since I was a late bloomer, and now people are stopping me places just to talk with me," Izuku says with a smile and tears swelling in his eyes. It is a bit overwhelming, I'll give you that, but it does come with the territory. We all were going to have that happen with our career path. But Izuku, I know you're going to be a fantastic hero. Just look at what you can do already as a first-year student. Just imagine what you will be able to do when you graduate," Ada says with a satisfied look on his face. "Thanks, Ada. That means a lot coming from you also. I heard your brother had an accident. Is he okay?" Izuku says with a worried look on his face just before they walk into class. Once walking into class, Ida assures Izuku that his brother will be fine and that he doesn't need to worry about him, then apologizing about any unnecessary concerns. The conversation immediately gets changed when Uraraka walks up to them and talks about how it's so cool for people to be recognizing them just like everyone else in the classes. The class continues to talk about being recognized until Aizawa walks in, which causes everyone to get to their seats and be quiet. Once everyone is settled, Aizawa explains how they are going to be choosing their hero names today, then showing the agency offer results where only Izuku and Bakugo's results are different, Izuku having 55 offers and Bakugo having 43. Aizawa then explains how the offers are usually more spread out, and those without offers shouldn't be worried since the school made preparations with 40 hero agencies for those without offers to go to for their internships. Everyone then chooses the same names as in canon with Midnight's help. Then at the end of the day, All Might appears to Izuku telling him about Gran Torino's offer just like canon, and for simplicity's sake, we are going to have everyone go to the same place for their internships, and everyone's internships are going to happen the same as canon except for Izuku's. When the day of the internship arrives, Class 1A meets up at the train platform, everyone getting their costumes there. Side note, Izuku does have a costume for when he isn't transformed that looks nearly identical to the one that appears when he transforms. Before getting on their trains, Izuku and Uraraka run up to Ada saying, "I know you said not to worry, but if you need to talk to anyone, please call either Uraraka or me." "Thanks, but I am okay. Seriously, you do not need to worry," replies Ada. Even after hearing Ada assure them that he was okay, Uraraka and Izuku go and hug Ada, promising him everything will be okay. Then Uraraka waves to Ada and Izuku saying, "See you guys after the internship." Although Izuku stands with Ada until Uraraka is out of earshot, then looking at Ada with a concerned look saying, "I know you want to get revenge on the hero killer, that's why you choose an internship in Hasu. I'm not going to stop you, just don't be rash or stupid. Your family already had one awful thing happen to them, don't have there be a second." Once Izuku is done talking, he turns away from Ada, then walking to his train. Once Izuku gets to Gran Torino's place, he knocks on the door before letting himself in, then immediately notices that Gran Torino is lying face down in something that looks like blood. Immediately after seeing this, he drops everything, then turning Gran Torino over and checking for a pulse, but before he can, Gran Torino sits up, scaring Izuku. Izuku has an immediate sigh of relief before asking, "What happened? Are you alright, Gran Torino?" Torino ignores the question, instead asking, "Who are you?" "I'm Izuku Midoriya, the kid you gave a work studies offer to, but that doesn't matter until I know you're okay. If you don't know what happened, we should immediately get you checked out at the hospital," Izuku replies. Izuku then gets up, and in the couple of seconds where Izuku isn't looking at Torino, he has gotten up and has started to look through Izuku's hero uniform. After a brief look through Izuku's gear, Torino says, "Put this on and let's fight. You seemed pretty impressive at the sports festival, but I want to see what you really got." Izuku then looks at him with a puzzled look saying, "So you're okay? If so, why were you laying face down in something that looked like blood?" "Oh, that. I just fell with a plate full of ketchup and sausage right before you arrived. Although you did respond quickly, good on you for that. Now let's fight," Gran Torino replies. "Well, do you want me to transform and fight you, or just use one for all to fight you?" Izuku asks while giving another sigh of relief at the fact that Torino is okay. I want you to go all out, so however you do that, I don't care, just do, Torino replies. Izuku then takes a couple of steps out the door before shouting, Shazam, causing the lightning to come down and transform Izuku, then walking back in and saying, let's do this. Torino immediately flies at Izuku, which Izuku easily dodges. Noticing this, Torino starts bouncing off the walls to try and attack Izuku from unorthodox angles. However, Izuku is able to avoid his first attack, just skimming Torino with a hit. Torino then builds up lots of speed and goes for one more attack, but Izuku is able to hit Torino to the floor, knocking him out. Immediately after hitting Torino, Izuku realizes his mistake of hitting him too hard, so he picks him up, seeing that he had broken Torino's nose from hitting him too hard into the floor. Izuku then quickly zooms around the building, finding the first aid kit, patching up Torino and tidying up the whole place in a matter of minutes while Torino is out cold on the couch. Eventually, after 20 minutes, Torino wakes up groggily, asking, what happened? Seeing Torino wake up, Izuku quickly gets to his feet, bowing and saying, I'm so sorry I hit you into the floor and knocked you out. I tried to hold back, but it seems I didn't hold enough back to apologize while you were out cold. I cleaned your entire place and put my things in what I assumed was the room I was staying in. After hearing this, Torino sits up, having an amazed look on his face at the fact that from what he could see, his place was utterly spotless. Then saying, wow, it looks spotless. How long was I out? 2-3 hours. Izuku then looks at the clock, then replying, no, nothing that long. You were only out for 20 minutes. You did all this in 20 minutes. Wow, kid, you're quick. Torino replies. Izuku shrugs at the comment, saying, I didn't even go as fast as I could to clean, primarily because I was concerned papers and such might fly all over the place if I did. This brings a smile to Torino's face, saying, you are a really impressive kid. Toshinori called not long before you arrived and said you were out of this world powerful, and I see he was right. So what is this other power you have that Toshinori mentioned? Hearing this, Izuku gives Torino a hesitant look before getting him to agree to keep his secret of his power. Once Torino agrees, Izuku explains the power Shazaam bestowed upon him and how he is looking for others to share the power with besides All Might. Throughout hearing this, Torino's face became filled with more and more shock until the end, where his mouth was wide open in awe of Izuku's power. After a minute of just sitting there, Torino pulls himself together, then asking, so your power is from the gods that a wizard bestowed upon you? Izuku nods at this, which gives Torino an interested look before saying, and I thought one for all was an interesting and powerful quirk. Yours is just in another league. Wow. The two then talk the rest of the night about what Izuku can do and how in his usual form, he can only control around 20% of one for all, but in his transformed form he can fully control the quirk as well, explaining how with the wisdom of Solomon, he knows there were other things in the power, but he didn't really know what it meant. For the next couple of days, Izuku trains to hold back his power even further back while transformed, and trains to strengthen his regular body at the same time. After those days, Torino goes with Izuku to a big city a day earlier than canon, where they spend the end of day, night taking down criminals fairly easily, efficiently. Everything seemed to be going great with Izuku's internship until the next night. Where on the train ride to the big city, their train is attacked by a Namu like in canon. Seeing the Namu, Izuku immediately shouts Shazam and flies into the Namu at full speed, slamming it into the pavement, knocking it out. After a minute, Torino catches back up with Izuku, saying, that was reckless, Izuku. I know you're strong, but you could have gotten hurt. Although it looks like this place will be needing all the help it can get, so you have my full permission to use your abilities to help in any way you can. Izuku nods at this, then putting a smile on his face and flying off to where the action looked to be happening. Once Izuku gets there, he sees Endeavor and some other pro heroes fighting a Namu, which Izuku shoots lightning at from a distance, which pulls the Namu's attention to him. The Namu then charges at Izuku, but Izuku punches the Namu with a one-for-all, lightning-powered punch, sending it flying into the air. Izuku then flies up to the midair Namu, then grabbing it and hitting it back down, but he does catch it right before it hits the ground as to cause less damage to the area. Seeing this display of power shocks the heroes on the scene, Endeavor then asks Izuku, who are you? Hi, I'm Deku and I'm here to help. Izuku replies with a smile on his face. I've never heard of some super powerful pro named Deku. Why don't I know of you? Endeavor quickly says. Although before Izuku can reply, Torino arrives, saying, that's because he's a first-year UA student who is currently interning with me. This fills the pros' faces with shock and awe. Then Todoroki walks forward, saying, Izuku's actually in my class. Oh, hey Todoroki, good seeing you. Have you seen Ida? He should be around here with his pro hero somewhere, Izuku replies. Hearing Izuku's concerns for Ada, Manuel steps forward, saying, Ada's training under me, but I don't know where he is. Right before all this stuff happened, he disappeared. Izuku immediately realizes what Ada must be doing, saying, You guys handle the other stuff, I'll go find Ida right before rocketing off at full speed to look for it. Thanks to Izuku's immense speed, he finds Ada in under 2 minutes. Izuku sees a man with a sword standing over Ada, so he flies at the villain, knocking them into a wall, somewhat stunning them. Izuku then crouches down to Ada, saying, "Are you okay, Ada?" But before he can get an answer, Stain has jumped at him, hitting Izuku with his sword. However, on impact, the sword shatters, surprising Stain, who has a questioning look fill his face right before Izuku punches him into a wall, entirely knocking the villain out. Once Izuku is sure the villain is genuinely out cold, he quickly checks on Ada, then noticing Native, who he then checks on and gets rope to tie up Stain. Izuku then picks up the three of them, flying Ada and Native straight to a hospital, and handing Stain off to the authorities he found on his way to the hospital, explaining how Stain is the hero killer, and he'd be right back after bringing Ada and Native to the hospital. Once making sure that and Native were okay, Izuku heads back to the cops, giving them info to contact him after everyone was safe before zooming off to see if he can go help anywhere else. However, the last Nama was already taken down and was being taken into custody when he arrived back. Izuku then assured everyone Ida was fine and went to see if anyone needed help in damaged buildings, helping out until the morning when everything finally calmed down. Izuku then found Torino and made a statement to the police chief with Torino at his side. And unlike Kanon, Izuku doesn't get in trouble for using his quirk, instead actually getting the credit for his deaths. Izuku then spent the rest of the day with Ida and Todoroki, who both were making sure Ida had someone with him at this tough time. Although at the end of the day, Torino gets Izuku to go on a patrol of the city with him, and the two stay in the city and patrol it for the rest of the week. At the end of the week, Izuku says to Torino, "Thank you for helping me learn so much. You have helped me get so much stronger in such a short amount of time." Torino shrugs at this, saying, "Kid, you already were stupid strong. All I did was help you get more experience and help you learn to tone down your power more." The first day back, when Izuku walks into class, Izuku gets mobbed by his classmates, who ask him what happened, and Izuku just simply explains all he did, treating it like no big deal, but it amazes his classmate. Everyone then talks to each other about their experiences during their internships until they go to their next class, which is a rescue training race. When it gets to Izuku's group, most everyone bets Izuku is going to find All Might first except Bakugo, who continues to talk trash about Izuku. Once the exercise starts, Izuku shouts Shazaam, transforming him. Izuku then flies straight up, and once spotting All Might, zooms to him in a blur, getting to him long before the other competitors. Once winning, All Might says, "There are some things you should know about One for All. Meet me in the teacher's lounge at lunch." At lunch, Izuku meets up with All Might and learns the origin of the quirk and how All Might defeated All for One, which caused his long-lasting injuries. Next time, Class 1A will be having their final exams. Will Izuku succeed and pass his exam, or will he crash and burn during the tests? Mid-ad. Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. If you are interested in content like this, please go check the description below or click the eye icon in the top right corner. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. Outro. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there is a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the recruitment Discord in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.